Hello, everybody. Welcome to College Deadlock. I'm going to be your host today, Zedroid. I'm here joined by Neptic. Neptic, how are you doing today? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Zedroid?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for a nice game of Deadlock coming up. It's going to be TAMU versus PSU. It's going to be a great game. These two are quite competitive teams. I'm really excited to see what's coming up. But first, why don't we get to know you a bit? It's your first time on our cast, on our stream, Neptic. You want to tell us a little about yourself, a little bit how's it going in the tournament?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a new face here for those who may not know me. Hi, I'm Neptic. I'm the frontline player here at the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Deadlock team. As you notice, we're also still in the tournament as well, so this is a little bit of a change of pace for me. Typically, most people will never see me or hear me except my team, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try out some casting. So here I am. Things have been going good. Tournament's been going great. So, you know, nothing to be sad about. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is great to hear. Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm also an ex-player. Back in Season 0, I played on the team of U of T. So Neptic here is an older rival of mine, I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah.
We had so much fun back in that day, at least. But why don't we go ahead and see how the how the bracket is going right now. See what's happening. I believe we are in the lower bracket for this game. It's going to be TAMU versus PSU. The other lower bracket game, recently, you guys kicked out U of T down there. They're going to be fighting against Seattle University. How are you feeling about these two matches? More specifically, our match today.
Yeah, so I've had some experience here playing against both TAMU and PSU. And I think I'm pretty confident to say I think that this series specifically will be a very competitive one. I think both teams here have very much different strengths that they both play towards very well. And it kind of clashes, right? It's a little bit like I think each team kind of counters each other in a way. So we can probably expect a 3-map series here, Zedroid.
That is great to hear. I'm always excited for some great games. But here are our rosters. On the side of TAMU, we got Gigabyte, Macro Jesus, Pist, Plague, Justin, and Encore. And on the side of PSU, we got Funsi, Tiny Mo, Schmlargo, Yiko, Barnfart, and Finkel Dork. Anyone in particular you're looking at here? For me, it's going to be TAMU's Macro Jesus. He's their typical carry player. He is great, and he does great at what he does. What about you here, Neptic?
Me, it's all about Finkel Dork. That's my go. If you talk to anybody on the University of Nebraska Lincoln's team, everyone will say Finkel Dork's the go. It's either Finkel Dork or Schmargo. Honestly, those two guys are always a pleasure to be around and always a fun thing, a fun time playing with them.
Yeah, they are great. They're so chill. Working with them is so nice as well. They're so easy to work with, especially in the back end. But as we're getting into the draft, I'm actually surprised. The first ban is going to be Mirage. We're not going to be forcing Sapphire or the Archmother to ban that. And then on the side of PSU, it's going to be Wraith. Any idea on these bans? Is it going to be a comfort thing? Does TAMU not play Mirage right now? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think right now the draft's already really interesting, mainly just because right now the meta is that if you're on the Hidden King and you have the first ban, you typically just want to ban something that is strong, but not as strong as like Mirage, right? So it's typically some kind of comfort ban, and then you force the Archmother side to ban Mirage and then pick up something else on that first pick. But Texas A&M decides to break the mold here by banning Mirage, and 100% that PSU ban from that Wraith ban from PSU is just a character ban for Macro Jesus. That guy on Wraith has always been very strong.
Yeah, he is nasty, but TAMU looks like they're going to pick up the Venator for him instead. On the side of PSU, we're going to get the Kelvin frontline, or Kelvin Abrams here. Typical draft so far. And we're looking at Paradox getting picked up right away for TAMU. We're not going to get too much of a frontline counter pick here. Followed out with, I'm assuming, going to be a support here. What are your thoughts on this Pocket? Sorry, not Paradox there. Pocket pick.
Yeah, Pocket pick 100% is a very smart choice from Texas A&M, mainly just because PSU just picked up Kelvin Abrams. Those two guys are known as just people who always keep others alive or always alive themselves, right? Abrams and Kelvin always rely on their healing with Dome from Kelvin or Abrams' Infernal Resilience and just general tankiness. I do like this silver pick, though. I think it's a little late. Typically, you'll see a lot of teams pick up silver first pick. for their side, but it looks like it's coming out as the third pick here for TMU.
Yeah, Silver is probably the strongest front line in the game. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Great pickup, great strong first side of the draft. We're going to get Dynamo to finish it off on PSU, along with a Sinclair ban and a Geist ban. These two, I believe, from what I remember, they're more comfort bans. PSU does great. I believe it's Schmlargo who plays their Geist. And on the side of that Sinclair, I'm not totally confident who's their player, but I know they have a strong one. And when you have a Dynamo, when you have a Kelvin, you don't really want them to get those ults as well. How's it going for you for this draft?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like things are going really kind of standard here. I mean, this Apollo pick coming out from PSU seems pretty normal. I think, however, I think what's a lot more interesting is this Texas AMU pick of, Yamato and Warden. This already looks pretty greedy in my eyes, mainly just because Venator and Warden require a lot of souls to really get online, especially Warden in this meta, just because in this meta, things like Mirage, Venator, and like, for example, I'd say Lady Geist are usually pretty strong, and they can actually operate with a little less souls compared to other carries. So it's, in my opinion, it's a little bit of a greedy draft coming out from Texas.
Yeah, I mean, when you're comparing the likes of a Yamato, of a Geist, they get up around that 32, I want to say, soul mark, 32,000. They're really strong. Yamato, of course, strong throughout the entire early to mid game if you play it right. But the likes of the Warden, you really need a lot more souls. You're trying to get him online more. Then we get a Bebop and a Viper on the side of PSU. We're going to have the M1 carry on the Viper. That's going to be a spicy one, in my opinion, at least. You don't see that very often. I believe this is a comfort pick from what I remember seeing these two play. Viper is certainly a spicy one.
Oh my goodness gracious. Is that my goat Schmargo on the Viper? For those who may not know, Schmargo is what you would consider probably the #1 Viper fan here in College Deadlock. And, you know, Schmargo's been feeling really bad for the fact that Viper's been out of meta for, well, ever, honestly. And now that with some recent buffs on the April 10th patch here to Viper, she's gotten a lot of play, and I am very excited to see, hopefully, Schmargo back on it.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. And a Viper, I mean, you don't see it often. Lastly, we're going to end off that draft with the Ivy, getting the support pick for Texas A&M. Overall, I'm liking these drafts. I agree with you. The side of TAMU is a little bit greedy. They got few more soul-hungry characters than I'd like to see. Overall, I'm liking the alts. They have some really strong ones. Side of Paradox there, the Affliction. Shadow Transformation is always such a great alt. And of course, Silver. Her entire kit's her alt at that point. But on the side of PSU, they have a lot of team fight. You got Dynamo, you got the Apollo, and you got the Kelvin. Those are really strong alts and really hard to fight against. I'm really worried for both teams. This mid contest is going to be crazy going into this first game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And another thing that we should probably mention about PSU's draft is that just looking at the characters, you can kind of tell what their game plan is. And it's just, hey, we're going to give everything to Viper, all eggs in one basket. And that basket, or excuse me, and that egg is Viper. I mean, PSU's drafted 5 characters that are typically not very soul hungry, right? So Dynamo, Kelvin, Abrams, the likes of them, they don't need a lot of souls to operate. And so they're really going to rely on this Viper here to carry them through the late game.
Yeah, but we are getting into this game. We're going to see these lanes come out. On the left side here, you got Abrams and Kelvin against the Warden Ivy. Mid lane, we're going to see the Bebop Apollo against the Venator. I'm surprised who's not on a side lane. And Pocket. And then on that right side, we're going to see the Dynamo Viper against Silver and Yamato there. These are some spicy lanes. What are you feeling about it?
Yeah, this right lane, specifically for me, that Silver Yamato lane is probably the most dangerous lane in the game right now. I mean, it's 2 lane bullies versus a Dynamo. Right now, the PSU side, on that right side, Viper, Dynamo, 100%, they're probably thinking to themselves like, okay, we cannot fight them. No matter what we do, we cannot fight this Silver Yamato.
Yeah, it's going to be a really rough time for this Viper. They really chose, on the side of Texas A&M, they really chose their matchups right. Getting this Viper to be against 2 lane bullies, he's going to have a rough time being able to get through this lane in an even state. Especially, he's already dropping fairly low and stuck under this tower. He's really not going to get much. Yamato is just going to be hurting him over and over, and Silver is going to have some free farm. As you see, they're taking their camp, and there's really not much they can do about it here.
Yeah, this is just what we really expected to see out of it. It's like, what are you going to do into Yam Silver? They're just going to push the lane, and the next thing you know, you can't fight them back, or else you lose half your HP, like we just saw Schmargo lose. And then it just gives them a bunch of different, a bunch of free souls here with that camp, and then probably a lot of boxes that Silver Yam lane is also going to have access to. So that right lane is going to need a little bit of love here coming out from the mid players.
Yeah, this Apollo Bebop also looks like they're going to be the ones getting pushed in. Dynamo falling fairly low earlier, but Pocket's getting pulled out. He will take a large chunk of damage here, trying to get out. Bebop falling low, but it looks like this is going to be the first one falling, sorry, as well. Pocket is going to fall. And that's going to be the first pick. And that's going to be first blood.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a very interesting first blood, because usually Pocket into the Dynamo lane is really good for Pocket. I mean, the moment, Pocket into the Bebop lane is usually good for Pocket, mainly just because, like, Pocket has the, hey, you can't touch me button with Suitcase. So the fact that Pocket's dying first here, it's looking up for PSU already.
Man, it's going to be a really strong pick. We're looking at this right lane right now. I don't see too much happening here. It's, I mean, 2 fairly tanky characters. Like, they're just going to be kind of sitting there, but it looks like they are fighting. Ivy is falling fairly low, but, I mean, it's Ivy. Warden, I'm surprised, is even trying to fight here. Warden early game is not what you want to be doing. Ivy using Stone Form pretty early in the fight, trying to just kind of walk away. Nothing too much happening here, other than a little skirmish.
Yeah, but I love burger boxing. For those who know me, oh my goodness, this is the lane I want to be in. I want to be this Abrams right now, just fighting, perma-fighting 24/7. And honestly, these guys are doing a great job here on PSU side, just kind of pushing their advantage of the fact that they have much more HP and will survive a lot more compared to Ivy Warden. So this burger boxing is what I'd love to see so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's the goal of their lane. Abrams wants to keep fighting and wants to keep fighting. It's similar to the side of the right. It's just going to be swapped teams, you know? Both sides are going to be pushing out, trying to get their advantages elsewhere, but Viper taking a little bit of tower damage. Not going to be able to get too much out of it. Venator falling about to half as he's trying to clear wave. He's 4 of us on blue on this side, and they're really trying to make something happen. And they do get the Venator out. But that is going to be possibly first Guardian down on the side of PSU. Yeah, on that right lane, it's going to drop pretty early. They will be able to trade it out here, but I'm not sure how worth it that was. No, we're sending 4, and we're losing a lot of solo souls on this Viper.
Yeah, and honestly, it's actually a bit more like a poison blade in a sense, right? PSU is sending 4 people to the mid lane to then get that hard push out to secure both buffs. We see that Bebop's secured that green, and then Viper's gotten that movement buff. 2 very strong buffs for those 2 specific characters. And yes, while losing a Guardian on that right side is pretty bad here, as we see, oh my goodness, Schmargo here is just going straight in for the kill, unable to find one, but it's okay, as Fingeldork is going to go for a solo ult on Silver here. Oh no, he's able to get that transformation off, but Fingeldork falls.
Unfortunately for him, the Lycan Curse gets it too much, and Pocket surviving at less than 60 HP for what I saw, and Macro Jesus shortly falling here unless he can get away with the movement and the stuns. Looks like he's out as well. 2 really strong trades here. Viper immediately losing that movement buff is not what you want to see. Viper really loves it, and the Frozen Shelter is going to come out, but Warden is going to change the world as he is trying to do as much damage as he can, but Abrams is just so tanky. Ivy's just going to fly away, and I don't think they're going to be able to get much more here.
Yeah, this character is insane. And Tiny Mew has already gone in with the gank towards this left side lane. He's hooked in Warden, and he dies! Look at that, what an amazing rotate here coming out from Bebop. However, Texas, knowing that they're able to get that trade out off in mid onto Barnfart, excuse me, they're able to trade a 1-for-1 here.
Yeah, both getting their side pushes, but Ivy stayed a bit too far, tried to help out the Warden a bit too much and got picked on his own. This right side, though, Viper is going to be really struggling against the Silver. I don't really know if this is the side lane he wants, but it's the side lane that he has to be on. You know, there's too much fighting on the right, and there's both Guardians up still. He really just wants to be alone and chilling, but the Silver is going to have push pretty much the entire way through this mid game. As we look back towards this left side, we see more burger boxing on top of burger boxing. Abrams falling really low here. Will he be able to get out? Not entirely sure. Ivy's going really deep for this one, trying to go when he can, and Kelvin accidentally gets in the way of the hook and lets the Ivy live.
Yeah, I mean, this is such an insane lane on this left side here. Like, how are you ever going to try to kill Abrams or Kelvin? You just can't.
And they're just too tanky for this game.
We're rounding up here to the 8-minute mark here, and this is another very important timing here for both teams. 8-minute mark is usually when the center sacrifices start spawning, so I'm expecting teams here to start super mega pushing all their lanes to try to get as much access to all their centers as possible. You can actually see on that right side lane here that Texas has sent 3 people to this walker.
Shadow Transformation comes out, as well as the Affliction. Viper is probably going to have to back up here. And Yamato just using the Shadow Transformation to get away. Viper seeing if she can get him, but no, does not come out. On the left side, though, the Guardian does fall for TAMU. And that's possibly going to be just more of an even map state. They're going to get the slots on the left side. PSU is going to be able to steal them out, and they're looking to contest the doubles here. They do have 3, but looks like we're going to have 4. This might be a rough one. Warren's getting ult very soon here, as Ivy's going to pop the Stone Form, get the Abrams down, stun him out. Warren's staying right on top there. He's not going to be shoulder charge in anywhere, and Yamato is going to finish him off, along with Macro Jesus Plague getting the kill on Funsi. And that's going to be the slots taken back for the side of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked PSU's idea there was that, hey, we know that there's going to be 1 or 2 people max on these doubles. Let's try to invade. But unfortunately, I think it was a little bit too greedy of a play here coming out from them, as almost the entirety of Texas just rotates to defend their doubles. And then look at that. Instead of trying to steal the enemy's doubles, PSU actually lost one of their own as well. That's going to hurt a little bit here.
Yeah, these little trades are what are hurting them. I mean, as we can see, looking at the game state, about a minute until the next bridge buffs coming in. Mid boss is going to spawn, not too relevant other than the mid boxes for at least another 10 minutes or so, unless the game somehow turns into one side slot, but it doesn't look like it is. 3 are coming on this right side. They're trying to force out this Guardian, and it looks like they just will. Nothing much Silver can do. The Lycan Curse getting popped out pretty early. Bebop's just going to kind of pickle away and get that Guardian, as a lot coming here. This might be a big fight coming up.
Yeah, I really hope PSU kind of takes the idea to leave early, but it doesn't look like they do. Tiny is going to get caught out here by 4 of Texas. However, if you only just lose 1, it's better than losing more than 2 or 3, right? So PSU is going to be like, hey, we're going to cut our losses. That's all right.
Losing 1, but losing a 400 bag as well. And that's going to be the spear buff on the Kelvin. That is going to hurt a lot. Warden is going to just immediately fall there. Trying to contest a bit too much on the side of the map where his team just isn't. It's just kind of a misplay. He's getting a bit caught out. But as we look back, we got Kelvin with the buff, getting the urn, running to it. We have about a 6k soul lead on the side of TAMU. And overall, the game state is pretty even here.
Yeah, and I'll admit, I think this might have been a little bit of a blunder coming out from Texas here, that they were not ready for this urn spawn at 10 minutes. We saw that PSU already had 4 players up and ready to wait for this urn, and honestly, looking at PSU's draft, I think their urn fight's a lot better. The things with Kelvin Dome and Dynamo Singularity, I mean, there's a lot of options PSU has to make sure they confirm this.
And there is that Frozen Shelter, Kelvin popping it right away. And Dynamo also popping the ult, popping 2 ults on top of Yamato, who has the Shadow Transformation. Might not be the ideal play. Kelvin is dropping low. Shmlargo, their carry, falling very early in the fight. Pocket is going to fall down on core earlier in the fight as well, but Finkeldorf and Barnfart on the other side of the fight falling as well. Bebop forcing Ivy to not get this urn. This fight is going huge for Texas. as TinyMo is going to fall as well. Schmargo is back in the fight, looking to get anything he can, but he's just going to have to leave. That's going to be 5 kills for the side of TAMU, half a walker, and an urn.
Yeah, I mean, that was insanely well played here from Texas. They knew that they lost the urn, and so they were like, hey, we need to fight. We need to try to intercept this urn, basically, before they get to the depot, and they did. But I think the most impressive thing about it was that they basically 3v5 Texas AMU into PSU. We saw the Frozen Shelter come out. We saw the Dynamo Singularity. 2 very big team fights just got popped that fight, and Gigabyte still left that fight with two kills under his belt and full HP.
Yeah, I mean, Yamato is not the one you want to be popping those ults on. The Shadow Transformation is just so strong. Not being able to get CC'd, just having a huge sustain on that character is going to be really rough. Neptic, you know me. You know I love my Yamato. It's just not something you want to do against the Yamato. As we were looking at that fight, we were just talking about roughly a 6k gap. We're now looking at over double that at 13k between the two teams. Viper sitting at 10k, just about average with the top of the rest, but we're looking at Macro Jesus at 14k now. That is going to be very strong. That's a very scary Venator, as Schmargo looks like he might be getting caught out by the Silver. The Lycan Curse coming out, but there is 2. There is protection. Schmargo is going to have to use the Petrification, see if he can get out. Pocket is going to chase him out. Schmargo is going to fall. Justin is going to get Funsi as well, and the Lycan Curse is just so strong here.
Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, can we nerf the Silver character, Yoshi? What are we doing? Yeah. Yoshi, what are we doing, man?
No, Silver, very balanced, very, very weak. Please keep the character, as is. No nerfs needed. As they do get the first walker coming out, we're going to get some consolation camps as well. Just farming backwards. Yamato might be getting caught out here if Hook gets through. They see him, and they see he's looking at the slots. He might be a bit greedy, as the Hook does get through. He does have Shadow Transformation, but Yamato's going to slide backwards, and it looks like it's just going to be a pick for PSU.
Yeah, actually, honestly, I really like that patience coming out from Gigabyte here, realizing that, hey, I'm getting jumped by 3 or 4. I don't want to waste any cooldowns. So he was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to pop this Shadow Transformation. I'll die. I'll get myself a bit of come back up a little bit quicker for this next buff and earn fight. So honestly, great patience here coming up from Gigabyte.
I mean, we're looking at the map. They are leaning towards a mid-fight. This game is fights on top of fights on top of fights. The Itani Losan coming out, finding the Ivy, not doing too much. Ivy is at full HP, so he does not get the extra execution bonus, but Plague is going to fall regardless. The CC is just too much for him. As Pocket, I believe, gets Hyperline there, or just knockdown. Not sure which one. Lycan Curse coming out for Justin, but it does not look like a great play for Texas. They're just going to have to retreat here. Silver at 100 HP. Or Apollo doesn't have too much gun damage, so he's not going to be able to do too much. On the backside of the fight, Tinkledork and TinyMo are going to fall. Schmargo is going to do what he can here. On the other side of the map, sorry, he's not even in this fight. Their carry isn't here, and they're trying to fight this. As Gigabyte is going to try to go on as much of a rampage as he can. Venator is huge here. 19k does get parried, but it isn't going to be enough. They just have the numbers, and they don't have the carry on the side of PSU.
Yeah, I mean, that was looking really good for PSU. They had gotten that early pick onto Ivy there, but unfortunately, the big boys coming out from Texas, specifically Yamato and Silver, just decided, we're like, you know what? Yeah, we can probably 2v4 this. And they did. I mean, these two characters are so strong right now. And that's something that you don't want to happen right now, especially in this early to mid-game phase. All right, because now the Silver and this Yamato are going to be running the lobby while their Warden and Venator are just going to have all the money in the world.
Yeah, Yamato, I mean, once you get ahead, you get ahead. And you are able to bring through that mid-game and make sure your team has the souls they need to get. The Urn is going to be a comeback one, and it is going to be on the side of PSU. They tried to contest it, but it's just going to be them slowly bringing it. I'm not sure if we're going to see contest. We do see some people ziplining back, but it looks like they're just going to have 5 on the right side and give that Urn up. Maybe they try to make a blue play, but I don't see too much happening off this. It's going to bring that Urn, or that gap, just a little bit down.
Yeah, if I'm with Texas here, we're like, you know what? Yeah, it's fine for them to let them have the Urn. If I was Texas, I'd probably be thinking like, hey, let's try to see if we can find a pick here while they're running the Urn. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, so Texas just decides to be taking camps and really still trying to further their lead here. So nothing too crazy.
Yeah, they were able to just get some, but not too much. We're looking, just a quick recap here, we're at 16 minutes. Just buffs just passed. I unfortunately missed which one was which and who got who. But, I mean, we're at a 13k soul lead, give or take. Things will happen, waves will be pushed. This Yamato, silver specifically at 19k, is going to be really strong right now and very scary. Gigabyte might be getting caught out again, popping the Shadow Transformation early into kind of a nothing burger. The teams kind of dissipate, being happy with just getting that ult out.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at the warden on the left side here. He's going to get caught by the Itani Losan. And that's a kill here for PSU, a very big one as well. That's one of Texas's carries down, especially during the 17-minute mark. This is usually when things such as the timers start getting a little bit longer and more important objectives start coming up, such as the next buff and earn, as well as mid boss is also priority here. But we saw Finkeldorf actually loses his life here down in mid.
Yeah, I mean, they get a pick in mid, and they're going to say, hey, you guys can have the right walker, we're going to get the blue walker. We are going to get the center of your defenses out. They will get this trade along with 2. Gigabyte trying to defend on that left side, but just a little bit too late. The wave pushing towards the right side, but doesn't look like too much is going to happen from that. They're just going to take some camps, get it out, and overall, it was just pretty much a walker for walker trade.
Yeah, walker for walker trade is usually never a bad thing, but I think in this case it's a little bit of a worrisome ordeal here, especially for PSU, as they're down about 10k right now, which a lot better. They were down 20k earlier, but I mean, if you're down money and still losing a walker, that's something that you really don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah, as we're just kind of heading into more slower pace for the time, less burger boxing. We had fight on fight on fight. Neptic, what are your thoughts right now? We have a 15k up for TAMU, 2 very strong mid-game carries, bringing this competitor who's at 25k now to the late game. How are you feeling about what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was worried about. This is actually, in my opinion, the worst case scenario here for PSU. Speaking of worst case scenario here, it might be Warden's worst day, as he's just getting absolutely ran at by Smargo's Viper. Unfortunately, doesn't really amount to anything. Oh, whoa, what in the world?
Movement.
Wait, he's out. Smargo's out.
He's out of there. The movement boost from the gut shot just sends him flying, and because Viper has the boosted slides, he is just able to use that to run in the 90s and get out of there.
I mean, this is why we love Deadlock. Something like this is so funny. But,
Deadlock, great game.
Back to answering your question here, this is something I'm a little bit worried about, because this is worst case scenario here coming up from PSU, because like you just don't want these 2 characters to get really strong here. Speaking of getting strong here, the PSU is just going to strong arm Encore here on this left side lane, getting 1 pick. And also, this pick is very important if TXS is able to get another one. The singularity here
does come out. Lycan Curse is going to pop. A huge start to the fight for PSU. Is it enough though? Barnfart did fall, and their ults are getting kind of low. The only ult up on the side of Texas is going to be the Shadow Transformation, which is on the other side of the map. They're going to get the buff and just get out. They didn't want to fight it. They didn't want to risk it.
The enemy could be anywhere.
Zedroid, there's too much action going on here, man. I'm trying to bestow a little bit of analytical knowledge here, but every single time we try to say something, there's always a fight breaking out. There's always some burger boxing happening here on the map, and honestly, I'm so down for it.
These guys love their fighting. They're gonna just get this earned, and it's gonna be another fight. I mean, I'm surprised there's been no mid contest. I guess we're just getting to the point of the game where it's now gonna be an actual threat. They just got the bridge buffs. They're just gonna be fighting for this earn, and potentially, depending on this ult situation, ESU might not be able to contest. They don't have the singularity, and that is going to be huge for the comeback. They're down 11k right now, and that's going to be hard to make up without these really strong teamfight ults.
Yeah, and this fight is going to be a very important one, because at this 20-minute mark is when timers are starting to become really long here. Texas, though, is able to get the earn.
Drop in the earn, and they get it through. They just quickly deposit it, and there looks like they're trying to get out. The Lycan Curse is going to be stuck inside of this cage, but it isn't you stuck with the Lycan Curse. It is the Lycan Curse stuck with you, as Silver is just not dying. Just too much sustain, too much damage, and you have to run for your life while in that frozen shelter. Pocket on the other side of the map, fighting Apollo, seeing what he can do, but nothing too much there. It's just going to be the Urn and just going to be a soul lead for TAMU, as it's like they're trying to do mid.
Yeah, I mean, usually at this 20-minute marker is usually when you find yourself able to take mid. As I was trying to say earlier, but every death after the 20-minute mark will always be super long. Right? We're starting to see an average of about 40 seconds here, and if we see Kelvin die, speaking he shall appear, that 40-second timer appears. And this is really good here coming out from Texas. That one pick is already enough for them to go back and finish this mid boss.
I mean, Texas... not only Footsie is at 16k, he's the support player. He doesn't have many other souls. His timer's 40 seconds. Imagine what Schmalargo's 25k timer is going to be. And imagine what Macro Jesus' 30k timer is going to be. It's going to be rough, as they're not trying to do mid. They're trying to get the base. Silver on the right side is going to get one, but Schmalargo looks like they're going to pick it up. Yeah, and that could be a potential... now it looks like Schmalargo's going to back up, and the Affliction is going to pop. More fighting, more fighting, more fighting. We like fighting. As the Atani Losan is going to look for Pocket. He does get him.
Wait, 1 HP on Pocket.
Does he live?
Gosh.
And Apollo's,
oh my gosh.
Apollo's rage doesn't let him get the kill.
Oh my goodness, PSTT. Barely hanging on with the skin of his teeth there. And Macro Jesus is actually going to fall for it. Look at that timer, 65 seconds, down for a whole minute.
Yeah, I was talking about it before. That's going to be a rough timer, and that very well could be a mid-play for PSU. The way back in, getting just one pick too long, very well could lead them to get this mid-boss that's already about half HP. I don't know if Texas is going to be able to contest. They do have the Shadow Transformation. They do have the Warden Ult. They don't have the Affliction, though. That's going to be a really strong one going into this pit fight. As well as the Singularity is going to come out. We're going to see what's going to be able to happen here. Pocket looking like he can go in, but the Singularity is going to confirm them all three. Encore is dropping before the fight even starts. He wasn't able to get his ult. Wasn't able to get much. And that's going to be the mid for PSU.
I mean, what an absolute turnaround here coming up from PSU. They were able to basically punish Texas's greed here for after getting that kill on Footsie and having that 40-second timer. I think Texas should have just went straight to mid, but instead they decided to stay. Sure, they got base guardians. Sure, they got Walker, but I mean, look at the situation they're at now. They just lost one of their carries. They just lost Rejuve here. And sure, they're still up about 10k souls, but realistically, 10k souls at 25 minutes isn't the biggest deal. Oh,
I mean, it's like a 6k and some change, you know? If it was 10k right on your carry, that'd be nice, but it looks like a fight's going to come out here. Dominique coming out a bit early. Abrams falling very low, might have to back out of the fight, but it is an Abrams, so he might just be able to do what he can. Schmalargo getting stunned up, getting low. Yamato doing what he can to do Yamato things, is able to get one Rejuve out and try to get out as this fight's just going to keep going. I'm not sure how good this fight is. Finkeldork is going to fall as well. That's 2 Rejuves gone, and that is the third one right there. Schmalargo is frying here. He is getting Pocket very low. Warden is getting tossed around the fight. CC after CC. Shoulder charge into the hook, into the other hook. He's not able to shoot his gun. He's not able to do what he needs to do. But the CC chain is gone, and it's going to be the fight. Just keep going and going. Schmalargo is gonna fall. They do not want to stop fighting. Encore is 1, PSTT is 1, Gigabyte is looking at half. No ults are available pretty much from either side. Tiny Mo has his, but I don't think you're gonna see that in a team fight, as it looks like it's gonna be a very strong team fight win for Texas AMU.
Yeah, oh no, it looks like PSU kind of fell for the classic bait here is that, hey, we got Rejuve. We could probably fight in their base, and we see what happened there. I mean, PSU unfortunately still not just strong enough to really contest Texas. Again, specifically, Macro Jesus was putting in a lot of work in that fight. You see that much damage he just did there? That Eurodomini already took like the Abrams of all people down to half HP just before that big fight even started. I mean, unfortunately, I think PSU just got too greedy there. We can also look at the lanes. I think PSU took that fight way too early as well, as their lanes are looking bad here. Abrams, though, with a double shoulder charge coming in onto the Yamato and Silver, unable to find anything, though.
He's going to do what he can to chunk them out before the fight starts. try to deny them getting the ending right away, but they're just gonna fall back and they're gonna get this urn. It's gonna be really hard. PSU's gonna have to contest, but if they contest here, it's not gonna go well. He wasn't able to get the cancel, and he's gonna fall for the attempt. The Itali-Lo-san coming out. Warden falling pretty low, but it is a Warden. You're gonna have a tough time killing him. You're gonna have a tough time killing this entire team with this soul gap coming up. Schmlargo doing what he can, the singularity coming out, but not finding enough. Not finding any. Plague is gonna fall. Yamato as well. Gigabyte just a bit too much, but Macro Jesus is on fire at 37k. It is really hard to fight this Venator. CC him all you want. The Vampire Curse is going to come out, and you are going to get right as he might fall low, but not low enough, as he does eventually fall.
Oh my goodness, that Vampiric Burst just put in so much work for Macro Jesus there, just being able to stay alive. I mean, that is insane how much value he was getting out of that item. But Schmarga here may be able to get a pick onto PSTT. Yes.
Oh, no one's getting in
Venom
our way.
here being the final thing to end Pocket's life. But I mean, look at PSU's waves. I mean, that fight went very well for them. And then they have a bunch of big waves coming towards them here. This could actually be a big turnaround here for PSU.
What is going on in these fights? Burger Box after Burger Box, they don't want to stop fighting. They go swing it back and forth, back and forth. This soul lead was nearly at 30k, and now we're looking closer to 20, even almost to that 15k mark there. I mean, after these waves, after they get their farm, they're going to have a nice time. We still have another 30 seconds till the rest of TAMU is up. I mean, they're going to get a lot off this. What is going on? Why do they keep fighting?
Look, I don't know either, but this is my type of game. For those who might not know, I love Burger Box. You can ask everybody on the UNL team. I'm the resident Burger Boxer. I'm the guy who just loves fighting. This is the game I want to see. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to cast even the first map on this.
I mean, you're talking to a Yamato player. Of all people, I'm the one who wants to be fighting. But the hook, the shoulder charge into the hook is going to try to get Ivy out. Try to get Plague out and picked off, but the wall's just barely going to save him there. That was very close to a potentially mid-winning fight. I mean, it's up in a minute 40, but if you have the pick, you can get the map control and you can get what you need to do.
Yeah, but I really like what PSU is really doing here. They know that the next fight that they take, if they lose it, it's probably the game. You can see that they're all kind of trying to huddle up, or we're trying to huddle up and look for a pick here to see if they can really stall out Texas as much as possible. Unfortunately, if that hook went through on Ivy, I think that would have been that play right there. But unfortunately, I think Bebop still kind of sucks. I fear that character is still struggling a little bit in this meta.
No, what do you mean? Bebop's OP. In my games, he gets 30,000 stacks and one-shots me with a bomb. He's the best character in the game, obviously.
You're right. No, my fault, Zedroid. I need to put a little bit more respect on Bebop.
Come on, he's clearly much better than like the likes of Mirage or Silver, who are tiers below him. Obvious.
Oh yeah,
obvious.
Yeah. Mirage, Silver, Lady Guys. Yeah, those characters suck.
Yeah, no, they're like maybe above like C tier, like just the top of C tier. But in all seriousness,
I don't know. That sounds pretty generous. All I'm saying.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, Abram's gonna get that health buff. He's gonna be sitting quite nice. He's gonna be very hard to take out. But I mean, your Domini true damage is gonna be really hard for you to take. I mean, he's sitting. We're looking at his defense here, 38% on that Spirit. Yamato's gonna have a fun time, especially without the Spirit Snatch. I guess we're not gonna go too much into punching here. They are gonna try to set up for mid. They're just gonna try to start it right away.
Oh yeah, I like Texas's play in here just to try to see if they can really kill this mid boss. But they need to remember that, hey, Frozen Shelter and Singularity are still existing. Oh, it's a bait! It's a bait coming up from Texas here.
They try to get anything out of it, but I mean, PSU smartened up. They're not ones to take lightly, but it looks like they're gonna try to fight it anyways because we love Burger Box, and Singularity's gonna come out It's gonna find the Yamato, but it's a Yamato. Nothing much you can do there. They're gonna push out. The Frozen Shelter is gonna come out. Affliction is gonna go hit at least 2 there. Lycan Curse inside the Frozen Shelter is gonna do what it can, but is gonna shortly fall to Schlargo. He is on a 5-kill streak, and he is going on fire. This Viper is insane right now. Macro Jesus doing what he can to even out the fight, but Yamato is going to kill Schlargo. The anti-M1 carry character is doing anti-M1 carry things, as Macro Jesus is gonna try to... Sorry, Tiny Mo is gonna try to fight Macro Jesus here, but it's not gonna lead to much, as it was a bait of a fight, and then they decided to go in knowing it was a bait. And that's just gonna be mid-boss and probably ending the game for Texas.
Yeah, it looks like Texas here will probably just get this patron drop. I mean, what can an Abrams do? It's a 1v5. As much as I love Abrams, there's not much you can do in this situation here. The only thing you can really do is stall for time. And honestly, wait, stalling for time he's still relatively healthy. You're fighting into 3 people within this pit. I mean, look at this guy.
Their M1 carries are just arriving now. They decided to do mid just for the fun of it. So, I mean, with that, he had 40% spear reduction. Yamato's not going to be doing too much with him. The Tank Buster will pop once in a while. Finkeldorn doing what he can. But that will be the first map for Texas A&M.
Good fight. Good game.
Oh my goodness, what a game. That was a crazy one. That was a lot of fighting, and that was a lot of just general fun. I really love to see it. Neptic, how are you feeling about that? Any thoughts coming out of it?
Honestly, big props to Texas, specifically Silver and Yamato. I mean, those 2 guys did what they needed to do, and they were able to really oppress that right side lane, especially against the Dynamo Viper, right? 2 somewhat weaker laning characters, and the fact that they were able to make the most out of it and then just spiral out of control in that mid game, I mean, that was very well played from them.
Yeah.
We're moving on to this MVP screen here. We see that, well, of course, Macro Jesus here on this MVP. His Venator was doing a lot of damage, 66k.
That is insane. Getting 66k, nearly doubling the second place in damage there. It's a late game Venator. I mean, what are you gonna do against it? It's very strong and it's very lethal, especially when he can get online. As you're saying, I mean, Gigabyte and Justin just doing a great job transitioning into that late game, doing what they can. And we're looking at the side of PSU. They did a great job as well. I really liked seeing Schlargo just kind of hop off, doing what he can. There were some really great players on both sides. Anyone you want to call out for that first game? Just exceptional work there for you?
I mean, to me, it has to go to Gigabyte. I mean, his Yamato was putting in so much work. And as you said earlier, the anti-M1 carry was doing anti-M1 carry things. He 100% fulfilled that role to a T. I mean, he made sure that Schlargo was not having a fun time that entire game. And honestly, that hurts. I wanted to see a lot of Viper coming out. But, I mean, every single time we try to see something coming out from Schlargo's Viper, next thing you know, Gigabyte's right behind him with the Power Slash, with the Crimson Slash, Shadow Transform, do it all over again. And next thing you know, he's dead.
Yeah. Yamato, the good old classic Yamato doing Yamato things. It's just how it is. I love me some Yamato, so I have to agree there. Gigabyte did such a great job that game, doing what he had to do, making sure the fight was under control while Macro Jesus was just frying. But we're going to lead you guys into a break. We're going to head into Game 2 shortly. Stick around and see what happens in Game 2.
And when you came inside, dear, my heart grew light and this whole world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you. And so